My name is Gloria. I lead developer relations at Versatus. Versatus is a peer-to-peer web services provider that's working on onboarding the next million developers into Web3. So we are addressing a major issue in the Web3 ecosystem, which revolves around there are not enough developers building in the space, and there is a barrier to entry that doesn't allow current developers in Web2 to seamlessly onboard and try building decentralized applications. And we're eliminating that barrier by allowing developers, regardless of your engineering or coding background, to use the programming languages that you have learned and you loved and used your entire life and frictionlessly build, decentralized smart contracts or a Web3 applications without feeling that steep learning curve or feeling that barrier to entry. It'll be just as a seamless experience as, building a SaaS application. I think right now we're definitely in the early stages of just blockchain development. I hope to see way more proof of concept and more functional MVPs. The end vision for Versatus is being the best solution for developers by becoming the decentralized AWS at the end of the day. We want developers to really feel empowered and have total autonomy over what they're building without having to rely on a centralized server like AWS, where if AWS goes down, you cannot build. And we want to avoid that. So we want to really enable true data democracy and really accelerate that movement towards a truly universally accessible decentralized web. Right now, majority of the languages, for example, Ethereum, its popular languages are Solidity and Rust, but those are languages that, normie developers or developers in Web 2 aren't really used to. And developers in general, they face this trade-off, right? They face an opportunity cost. So when a lot of developers, they don't want to, learn such a niche language where the use cases are so limited. But with Versatus, if you learned Python or JavaScript or very, developer-friendly, very popular languages today, you can just continue to build with that. But we're also programming language agnostic, right? There is no limits to what languages that are going to be enabled, on our platform to build dApps. Like the limit really does not exist. We performed a lot of research around just the developer sentiment. Right now, I think Web3 has done a good job capturing that gamblers market, right? But a lot of developers, they want to see more utility, more real world use cases, and they also just want to put food on the table, right? Like, why would they choose to take the time to build a decentralized application when they could easily build an application, a SaaS app that they know is profitable, that is very secure? Because a lot of developers think anything crypto related is very scammy. It just comes down to educating them. And also when you look at maybe some other under resourced countries, they resort to blockchain technology for their savings and stuff like that. So I think once there's a little bit more progress with the blockchain development as a whole, and like I mentioned before, there are better MVPs, there's more proof of concept, and there's also, tooling and resources like Versatus, it will just make sense to the average developer not working Web3 yet to join and build, decentralized applications that will have a magnitude of impact. We're pursuing, this developer flywheel. Obviously, we know that there are more than 27 million developers out there in the world, but less than 0.01% is building in Web3. There's that major gap, right? But once we are able to, make Web3 and building Web3 way more appetizing, educate them on the value proposition that is, a real world impact level that will bring in more developers, and through network effects, bring in more users and more developers. So we're kind of chasing that flywheel there.